Hi, I'm Kathy, and this is Duality Unfolding. Thank you so much for coming back, or thank you for watching for the first time. This week I have a reading for you about why is everything so chaotic right now. So if you have been having a hard time, if you feel like the world is just chaos and you don't really understand what is going on, or your little corner of the world is chaos, then this is the reading for you. So I will be offering you 4 different readings to choose from. So each group is represented by one of these crystal cards. So group number 1 will be the blue lace agate, which the message is find your calm. Group 2 will be rose quartz, which is open up your heart. Group 3 will be Sunstone. The message is take pleasure in the things you do. And group 4 will be Chrysoprase, and the message is allow yourself to receive. So take all the time that you need to look at the crystals or kind of look at the messages. I will be pulling cards just to kind of help you get an understanding for why there's so much chaos around you, maybe why your life is really chaotic right now. As well as, let me see, I'll pull cards from about 5 different oracle decks to offer you some messages of comfort. So for each reading, we will dig into kind of what's happening, why it's happening, as well as offer you some messages of comfort. So as always, you're welcome to watch more than one reading. You're welcome to watch all of the readings, but yeah, so these are the 4 options, and I will see you in the reading. Hi, group number 1. So if you chose the blue lace agate crystal card, this is your reading. So I've pulled tarot cards from the Modern Witch Tarot, as well as oracle cards from all of these decks here. So let's get into your reading about why everything is so chaotic right now. Besides the fact that the whole world's on fire. Everything's crazy. So I just want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you're a new watcher, if you're new to my channel, I just want to say hi and thank you. If you're returning, I want to say hello again and thank you as well. Okay, so looking at your cards, the focus of the reading is the Empress. And so I feel like things are really chaotic for you right now because you're really coming into understanding like what your power is. So I think that sometimes we can have things happen to us that almost serve as like a gauge, right? That like, you know, we go through our lives, like every day we're just like doing the things that like we have to do, you know, and get up and go to work and take care of all the things that we need to take care of. And I feel like we kind of lose we lose like that awareness of kind of who we are, and then we also kind of lose that awareness of like the world around us. So I feel like something, like I was gonna say something has happened. No, things have been like really chaotic lately for you because you're in one part kind of being pulled out of like that kind of mundane kind of going through the motions thing in order to really see like what your power is, you know. And so like the Empress, like this is like, yes, this is a card of nurturing, but I also feel like this is like big like boss energy, right? And like this isn't boss energy like I'm the boss and you have to do what I say. Like, I feel like there's some cards like Queen of Wands, like she can be a little bit bossy, but I don't feel like this is that kind of bossy. Like, I feel like it's more of like this energy that you're exuding, right? That like, that's a series of things have happened where where the people around you, it kind of feels like work, but it could also be people like in your home, like people that you live with, people that you see all the time, like where these people fucked around and found out, right? Where it's like people are so used to maybe you taking care of things or doing the things, you never complain, and like you're always doing the things that need to be done and you don't really ask for any recognition. And so there have been some things that have come up where maybe you verbalize that, like, so like, has anybody noticed how much effort this takes and that I'm the only one doing it? Or just kind of like, you might have, or you might be on the verge of kind of expressing some of those things where it's like you are fully aware of how much time and energy it takes to do the things that you're doing, and you either have, or you're about to, or you're kind of getting into the habit of really letting people know that, like, I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I also know how much time and energy it takes, and I also know that it's been taken for granted for a while, and like we're not doing that anymore. So I feel like that's like that's of all the things to come out of like something being really chaotic, I feel like to really be able to see and know our worth is like, I feel like that's really powerful. And then the blue lace agate message just kind of caught my eye of like, find your calm. And, you know, when we look at this Empress card, she's very calm, right? She's not frazzled. She's not really bothered by things. Like, she is who she is, and she's going to do what she's going to do. And she's going to express like what her needs are. And if it bothers other people, like, it doesn't really matter to her. And it's not that like, it's not like she's just unbothered, right? That like, if you don't like something that I'm choosing to do that's in the best interest of me, that's not harming anybody, and it bothers you, like, that's not really my problem. Like, that's that energy. So the thing that you're not aware of is this Four of Wands card. And so Four of Wands is, you know, we've got this little couple here. Like, Four of Wands is associated with like traditionally like marriage, but like in the non-traditional context, it can be partnership. It can be like the start of something new, you know. So we've got this kind of depiction of these two people, and like this could be romantic, or it might not be, you know, like they're both holding flowers and they're kind of walking together. I mean, this could be two people that like are starting a business together. It does not have to be anything romantic, but like the thing that you're not seeing is that a really strong foundation is being, I want to say planted, but like that kind of doesn't really, I guess like the way you would plant a tree, right? But like this really firm foundation is being, kind of like rooted. Like, it makes me think of like when someone builds a fence and they have like the fence posts, and they like dig the hole, pour the concrete in, and then they put the fence post in, and like they have the level to make sure it's level, and then they go, you know, they kind of hold it so that it sets a little bit, and then they go to the next fence post, versus maybe like digging the fence post, putting it in the ground, covering it with dirt, and just like bam, 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 going on to the next. Like, this feels very intentional. This feels very like planned out. This feels very like this thing is for the long haul, right? Where like we can kind of throw up a fence really quickly, and like if it blows over, then it blows over, you know, or we can really take our time to be intentional about like creating like putting the fence into the ground to make sure that it lasts as long as possible. And that's very much what this energy is, you know, very intentional planting, grounding, making the structure like really, really sound. And so the thing that you are aware of is this Justice card. And so the Justice card, it is associated with Libra. So you might have a lot of Libra placements, or you might have someone significant that's got like their big three in Libra, or one of their big three in Libra. And so the Justice card is really about fairness, balance, equity. And so this is very much like what you're seeing, you know, with this kind of focus, right? And it's just like the example that I gave, where like if you're doing all of these things and you know that people are taking it for granted, like you're starting to kind of speak up and say like, hey, I really want to lay down a foundation that's like fair for everybody, like, or I want for us to kind of move towards things being more equitable. And I see that, I'm doing all of these things and I feel like things are out of balance and we really need to bring some things back into balance. So the resolution for, it's not really an issue, right? Like the Empress is not an issue. And so like, there's nothing to be resolved, but I feel like the resolution card in the reading is important because, it can kind of show why you need to keep moving in the direction that you're moving, or why you need to make a change in the direction that you're moving, so that we can kind of see both sides. So the resolution card that came up was the Page of Pentacles in reversed. And so pages are messengers. So in the upright, we've got this young person, it looks like a woman, that's holding this coin, right? And like she's looking at it and she's very focused on it. But in the reverse, what this feels like to me is that you did not know your value for a long time. And even if we look at these cards, like this could very much be I feel like it's like a storyline, right? That like this is maybe where you started out. Like pages represent like young people, so this is where you started out and this is where you're heading to. Like the Empress is someone that's a little bit older. Like they've had a lot of life experience, they're wise, they have a lot of knowledge. But with this resolution card being in reverse and with the Empress being the focus of the reading, like what this feels like to me is that for a long time, you didn't know your worth, like you didn't know your value. And part of that was because like you were looking outside of yourself to figure out what makes you valuable, right? That like this Page of Pentacles, like she's so focused on this coin, right? And like this kind of thing outside of her. And I think that like a lot of us are conditioned to operate that way, right? That like our inherent like gifts, like the things that are inside of us that make us like special or magical, like that's not what the world teaches us to focus on. The world really tells us like, you have to chase that bag, like you have to go out and get a partner, you have to go out and make friends, like you have to get like a fancy car, you have to live in a big house, like you have to acquire all of these things, right? And so I feel like, that's the conditioning for the world that we live in, that it's always been to focus outside of yourself. And so the problem with that is that if you are looking to everybody else to reflect back your worth, there are people that will see that this is who you are, or like who you have the potential to become, and like they're jealous of that, right? So like they don't want to help you become this. So then what happens is that like they will do or say things to keep you, I'm trying to think of a way to like explain the energy of it. So if we have a scale of like 1 to 10, right? So like 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. There are people that will see that you have the potential to operate at a 10. And because that triggers them, what they will do is they will watch to see where you are, And so this Page of Pentacles, like she might be moving like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She might be at a 7. And there are people that will come along and try to knock you down to keep you from getting all the way to that 10. And I feel like a majority of the people that do this, like they don't do it maliciously. It's like from a very kind of self-centered place that like I don't see that I could be operating at a 10. And so I know that I'm not doing the things I need to do and that you are, and it's really triggering me, and I don't want to have to be uncomfortable. So what I will do is I will knock you down to keep you from getting here so that I don't have to put in the work that you're doing to get ahead. And I hope that makes sense. Like I hope I'm making sense. And like it probably is a shitty thing to say, but I think that like a lot of us have experienced that, right? That like I know I've experienced that like within my own family, and like I don't feel like the person that operated that way, like I don't know that they were even aware of it. But whether they were or not, it's like I saw the pattern and it was like, okay, no, like I have to pull back, or like maybe I just don't share things with you. And so I say all that because I feel like the resolution card for you, because the Empress is the focus, and this is who you are, but this is also where you're going. This is who you're becoming. Like you're coming into this energy. And I feel like the resolution card is that you have to really consider the source when people are giving you information about yourself. Like take it with a grain of salt. Like I'm trying to think of like all these other sayings we have about like not necessarily taking people's advice or taking people's like opinions or perspectives or all of these things, like not taking them as like holy writ, right? That, and even if these people are like very, very important to you, like, like family or people that you trust, that, you can always have open ears, but for you to, for you to take whatever information they're giving you and like wholly like consume it as though it is the truth, it completely discounts your own truth. And so I feel like this card being upside down is really like what's making me feel that so strongly, is that like you do not see your worth because you're getting information from everybody else except for yourself. And so as you come into this Empress energy more, like you will stop listening to other people, and you'll stop like taking their opinions and their advice and their perspective as like the only way. But because like the Empress doesn't need other people to tell her, like what to be doing or like where to go or any of those things. And so even though like we have like the Emperor and the Empress and like they're paired up, just by the nature of like their titles and their positions, but like neither one of them like need each other to function, right? Like they're very much like this divine partnership, right? It's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And so like I feel like the resolution for like how to deal with all the chaos that's like around you is to stop taking people's opinions, advice, like information as like fact, as like the only source of like information. And if you're someone that like has a tendency to like ask people what they think, I would really encourage you to stop doing that, because like it does two things. Excuse me. It does two things. So one thing that it does is it allows you to internally discount your own wisdom, which like we don't really want to do that. Like you've had the experiences that you've had, and you are the person that you are because of those experiences, and you have a lot of like knowledge and wisdom about your own life, right? That you're the expert of your own life. The other thing that it does when we are constantly asking people for input is that it gives them the permission to just kind of freely speak about whatever they think about our lives, but also it kind of opens this doorway for people to give you like this unsolicited advice, and it's just like this extra chatter that you don't need, right? Like you just don't need that. So the last tarot card is the understanding for like why all of this is happening, and it's the Fool in reverse. So upright, the Fool is the start of like a new journey. The Fool is really like trusting, you know, like she's walking kind of off a cliff. She's got her little iPod or maybe her smartphone. Oh yeah, that's a smartphone. Sorry. Like, what's an iPod? Don't worry about it. She's got her smartphone and she's like listening to music and she's like living her best life, and she's got her little dog buddy. Normally in the traditional tarot, like the dog's like, "Hey, look out, you know, it's gonna be bad." But he's like, "Yeah, I get it, girl." So with this being in the reverse though, the understanding, and I feel like it's really these three tied together, is that, you know, like you're meant to start a new journey, but the more you're listening to these people instead of yourself, it's just delaying you. And so it's really just a matter of time before you start this new chapter, this new journey. But if you would like to get there much faster, if you'd like to get your Fool upright so you can, you know, get your tunes on and get moving, you really have to stop listening to other people. You really have to stop asking other people for advice. And so I think like this is creating a combined chaos, right? Because you've got the chaos of like going through this big change to kind of step into your own power, to become like a more powerful person, that like you're very much aware that you're becoming more powerful, like you're feeling more powerful, but there's some conflict there because you've allowed people to speak to you about your own life just kind of at their leisure, or you're really taking stock of and considering the things that people are saying to you. And so like that kind of puts a pause on things, right? That like it's hard to be really confident and really insecure and like make any positive progress or headway to move forward. It's almost like this it's like this energetic like indecisiveness, right? That like in my being I know that I am powerful, and I know that I can take care of things, and I know that I have or will receive all that I need. But also, is it okay that I'm a powerful is it okay that I'm a powerful person? And so like that, there's kind of this like awkward like back and forth, right? So it's like you can't get started on your journey if you're like, I'm gonna go to the airport. Wait, I'm not leaving the house. You know, like so. Once you are able to get to a place where you stop listening to others and you're really trusting in yourself, then that new journey will start. So now is the part of the reading with the oracle cards. So I pulled cards from all of these decks. So the first one is from this healing mantra deck, and the message is activating the third eye. And so it says, I am willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. And so I feel very much that like that really lines up to this card, right? That like maybe the belief that you have is that you don't know enough or you can't do it on your own. And you know, we've got this Empress card. She's got this crown, you know, on, and she's very intuitive, very tuned in. So again, I'm willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. Okay, the next card is from the Soul's Journey lesson cards, and the message is humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life, which I feel like is very much the Fool. And I feel like the colors almost match too, which I think is always fun. Okay. Next, we've got a message from the Work Your Light Oracle, and this message is Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So again, with this Empress card, she's very tuned in to kind of these higher powers, like the same thing with the Fool, like just very open to receiving guidance from Source. Next is the Animal Kin Oracle, and the message is Hummingbird Joy. That's so nice. And the last card is from the Thera-pets animal support. What is it? It's the emotional support animal cards. It's like therapist, but instead it's Thera-pets. Okay. So the message is you are going to get through this just fine. And it looks like it's a little salamander, but I feel like they have like a name that I can't remember what it is, but there's like an X in it. Just not helpful. But I feel like this kind of matches up with that Four of Wands card, right? Where it's like we're laying down a solid foundation. Everything is going to be just fine. So group number 1, that was your reading about why everything is so chaotic right now. And I hope that was helpful. I think of all the kinds of chaos that you could have going on, the chaos of really like understanding your worth and your value as a person, I feel like is like I'm here for it. Like I'm not here for like you being kind of stuck in chaos, but I think that, you know, to go through that, like that's a really powerful thing. And I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like you're kind of coming out of this, right? Where it didn't feel like I didn't feel a lot of chaos happening. So it feels like they're like the worst of it has passed, you know, and now you're kind of in this this like transition in a way where it's like, okay, what do I want to continue to put up with and what do I not want to put up with, because I understand where I'm going and I very much want to get there. So group number 1, that was your reading. If you enjoyed the reading, if you would hit that like button and subscribe, I would appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. So if you chose the Rose Quartz, this is your reading. So I have pulled 5 tarot cards for you from the Light Seers Tarot, as well as oracle cards from these decks here. So let's get into your tarot reading. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to say welcome and thank you for watching. If you are returning, I want to say thank you and hello again. Okay, so let's look at this reading. Okay. So the central focus of the reading is going to be the 6 of Cups in reverse. And so 6 of Cups can be a card of nostalgia. We've got, you know, this person with their dog and they're kind of thinking back to when the two of them first met. I feel like it's very much like this card of reciprocity, of like sharing and fairness. Like there's the balance of the 6, like 3 and 3. Being a very balanced number. Like 6 in numerology is also like the number of like earthly love, like human love, like a kind of more tangible love. So 7 is the number of like divine love, and 6 is the number of like kind of, I think of it as human love. Like I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe like 3D, like I don't want to say non-spiritual love, but yeah. So with this in the reverse, like what it feels like to me is that there's like something from your past that's come up. Like it might be a person, like it might be someone that you had a relationship with in the past. It might be somebody that you have like some like family history with, like not necessarily that you're related to them. They might be a friend of the family, or it could be someone that's kind of like pseudo family or chosen family. Like I had an uncle, Uncle Bob, that like I didn't know we weren't related to for a very long time. So I was like, oh, okay. So I think everybody kind of has like that, like relative that maybe they're not related to. So it could be something like that. But I feel like this person, or even like this kind of event, like if it's something that like has come up from the past, because we are kind of in the middle of Mercury retrograde, like at the time that I'm recording this. And so with Mercury retrograde, we can have things like return, we can have things come back up. So like return, repeat, and those things come up for us to like reflect on them, right? To decide, is this something that we want to repeat again? Is this like a round 2 that we want to deal with? And maybe not, and we can make those choices. So I feel like the focus of this reading is, I feel like this is kind of a love reading. So if this doesn't resonate for you, like if you are, like your chaos has not had anything to do with like an ex or like any kind of romantic relationships, then like this probably isn't the reading for you. But there's 3 other ones that you could choose from. But yeah, so this feels very much like a romance from the past, or even like a fling, or maybe like a situationship that like just popped back up. And so the thing that you're not aware of is that you've been doing a lot of kind of subconscious, like internal processing around like how your life has been since this person left it. And so with like these phases of the moon, like I feel like it's been a while. Like for some of you, I think this person probably like hasn't been around for maybe like a year, and then they're like just popping up. For others of you, like this could be like a couple months. But it feels like there was a significant enough amount of time that you were able to kind of reflect on things and like process things. So some people process faster than others, right? Like some people can go through like an ending and they like really dig into it, and they're like, what happened? And like, let me analyze this and let me like feel the feelings so I can move forward. And some of us don't, right? Like some of us just need like more time and space to do that. But you've really made a lot of progress in kind of overcoming like whatever reason that this didn't work out. Like you've done a lot of work on that within yourself. Not to say that like the ending was all your fault, because I feel like it was either like amicable, like you both kind of decided that like this isn't going to work, or you got the feeling that this person was kind of just fading out and you kind of let go too. But I think, even when those things kind of fizzle out, I think that like sometimes we kind of look at like, okay, well, like why would I even pull in someone like that, or like what did I miss, or like like all that kind of processing. And so that's what this feels like, that like this person, like she's very like, even like with the candle, right, she's very contemplative, that she's just kind of like looking at it and like thinking about it and analyzing it. And I feel like you've been doing a lot of that since these things, or since the situation ended. So the thing that you are aware of is this Knight of Wands. And so I feel like this is coming in 2 ways. Either this is the energy of the person that's come back, like this is your ex that's come back, and like they're it kind of just like feels like they just like popped up and they're like, hey, how are you? We should get together, and like all these things. And there's a part of you that kind of gets swept up in that, that's like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, this is exciting. Like, let's get together. Like, let's talk, let's hang out. But I also feel like this is how you feel about your own life, that like you've done all of this kind of work, like this kind of internal work, like reflecting on things and like growing and shifting and changing. And now you feel like really excited about your life. You might even feel excited about dating, but you weren't thinking of this person, like you got excited about dating, and it was not like, oh, I hope my ex comes back. You're like, yeah, I'm excited to get out there and I feel good about myself. And then like, what is happening? So, Yes, so this is the thing that you're aware of. The the resolution for the reading around this kind of ex coming back is, or this situationship coming back, is this Ten of Cups reverse. So Ten of Cups upright is the happily ever after card, right? Like we have these two people and they're, they're embracing each other. There's these kids out here, got all the colors of the rainbow and the chakras, and all the cups are upright, very positive. And so with this being in reversed, and also with this kind of X coming back in reverse, like they are not the one. They're not year one. They're not the one that you should be spending your time on. Because I feel like they will, for some of you, they're going to promise you this happily ever after. And I think for a lot of you, they're going to allude to this. And so what that looks like is maybe you're really excited to see them, and you're like really excited to connect, and you're like, yeah, let's get together, and like, let's make plans to go out on Saturday. And they're like, oh, that's great. Yeah. Let's do that. And then like Saturday rolls around and like they haven't reached out. Right. And it's like, okay. Like what is going on? Or you might even get back into a relationship with them, and like you might talk about like moving in together or going on a trip or kind of taking like a big step in dating, and they won't say no, but they won't say yes. And so I feel like that energy is, I don't like it. Like and then this isn't about me. This is about you. But I feel like for anyone that's done a significant amount of work to like figure out how not to repeat things, or like to figure out like what is best for them, and to get like really excited about their life, you're vibrating at like such a different frequency than this like Ten of Cups reversed, right? That like you deserve this equal energy. You deserve someone that's that's gonna say, yeah, we should hang out, and like there's this new brunch place, and like they open at 10. Like, do you want to meet there at 10 on Saturday? And like, yeah, like this Knight of Wands energy is very like it's intentional and it's tangible, right? Like it doesn't say like, oh yeah, let's meet up, and then like never talk to you again. I feel like this Ten of Cups, like that's what Ten of Cups reverse does, where it's like, oh, like it would be so great if like we could just like move to California together and like live on the beach, and like it's kind of this like fantasy thing. And then like this Knight of Wands is like, okay, like why don't we think about places where we want to live and figure out like how much it's gonna be, and like what kind of jobs we need to get like when we get there, or like having these more tangible conversations. So the resolution for like this X popping up is just to know that like they're not about that life. That life being open, honest, direct communication. So if you just want to fling, that's not going to go anywhere, like this, you could have that with them. But I feel like after doing all this work, like that's not enough for you. Like, not interested. And so the understanding around this whole thing is the Knight of Swords upright. And so we had the Knight of Wands, and we had the Knight of Swords. And so this Knight of Swords is, this energy, like they're not necessarily running away, but like they have something better that they need to get to, right? Like even this Knight of Wands energy, like this fire, this passion, this fun, this excitement, like this, like this is just leading to this, that it's like getting fired up to take off and go somewhere. The Knight of Wands it's more tangible. It's like action oriented, like taking actual steps. Like Knight of Swords is really to me about like communication and mindset. So with this Knight of Swords, like it's almost like this person has popped back up for you to see the reality about them, that they're not about what they say that they're about, to kind of help motivate you to get moving towards what it is that you really do want. You know, so like if what you really want is a committed relationship, and that you've done, you know, like you've done a lot of that internal work to figure out what exactly is it I want and what exactly do I not want, and like how do I shift these things that are preventing me from having what I want. You know, the understanding is that like this is popping up just as almost like I want to call it a temperature check, but I don't even think that's a thing. Like I don't I feel like I can't word today. But like this situation is popping up just kind of to ask, are you sure that you don't want this? Like, this is really easy to get and like you could have it. And like, are you sure that you don't want this? Like, are you sure that you want to put in the extra effort to like run to the motorcycle and like ride until you find what it is that you want? And I feel like this is very much where you are, right? That you're like, nope, did all the work, got really, really intentional on what exactly it is that I want. And I'm happy with my life right now. Like things are really good right now. And I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to go on the journey to, you know, get to really healthy partnership. And like if it takes a while, that's okay. No big deal. So I feel like it's a little case of the X popping up, making some chaos in your life. But I feel like that chaos was not like super, super chaotic for you. Like maybe internally, but it just, the energy feels very clear, right? That like when they came up, you're like, I see you. I know what you're doing here. I know you. Okay, yeah, let's talk. Like, let's see. Yeah. Oh, you haven't changed. Cool. Okay, well, it's good to talk to you. I'm gonna go. I will see you around. Or not. Okay, bye. So, that was the tarot portion of your reading. And so, I've got these oracle cards. So the first one is opening my mind. And the message on the back is I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. The next one is empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. And I feel like this opening my mind is very much like this Knight of Wands, right? That like I did all this work to kind of figure things out, and now like I'm open to, or I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas, that like this isn't all there is out there. Next is the Work Your Light Oracle card, and the message is the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And so I feel like this Six of Cups even can be like reincarnation. So this could be like this ex could be someone that's like maybe like a karmic relationship or like a karmic bond. But you see this opening my mind, this ascension. Like I feel like these two very much tie together. Yeah, with this little eye here. Okay, next is the Animal Kin Oracle, which is the card is Lion, and the message is confidence. I feel like these two are very much like that, paired up, kind of lion energy. And the last card is from the Thera-pets deck, and the message is, it's okay to struggle. You are doing better than you feel like you are. And I think sometimes like when we're in when we're in this, it can feel kind of like, it can feel frustrating and kind of lonely. And like, there's time for reflection where it's like, well, what did I do wrong? Right? Like, why didn't I get to have this? You know, and sometimes it's not that you don't deserve this or you don't get to have it. It's that the time's not right. The person's not right. You know, and that like, if you're struggling with that, if that's like kind of hard to receive, like that's okay. Like that makes sense. I think, you know, like when we're ready to receive something and we're kind of stuck in this like cycle of waiting, it can be really frustrating and hard. So I totally understand that. So group number 2, that has been your reading. So I hope that, I hope that it was helpful. I'm looking at the Rose Quartz card again, and the message was open up your heart. And so I feel like, even though this is not, you know, it's not a cups card, I feel like your heart is very open. Like you're very open to this. But it's almost like needing to open your heart up to, you know, to open it to the healing, but also to open it up to, you know, this journey that, just because it doesn't drop in right when you want it to doesn't mean that it's not coming. Yeah. So group number 2, that was your reading. I hope that it was helpful. If you enjoyed the reading, if you would hit that like and subscribe button for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hi, group number 3. So if you chose the Sunstone card, this is your reading. I have pulled tarot cards from the Star Spinner Tarot as well as oracle cards from these decks. So let's get into your reading. If this is your first time watching me, I want to say thank you and welcome. If you are returning, I want to say thank you for coming back and hello again. So let's look at these tarot cards. Ooh, these are good. Okay, so what right now is creating, like, what's causing chaos in your life, or why is there chaos in your life? So sorry, the card that is the focus is the Magician. And so the message that popped in my mind is that, and this is going to sound very blamey, and I don't mean it to be blamey, and it's not blamey, but there's chaos in your life because you have created it, because you're the Magician. And so I feel like for some of you, like if you have any significant Gemini placements, there's going to be a part of you, or even if you're maybe, like if you have Sag placements, you might be like, that's probably true. If you have any Earth sign placements, you're probably going to be like, no, I don't make chaos. I don't do that kind of nonsense. But, you know, chaos isn't all bad, right? Like, I mean, it can feel uncomfortable and it can feel terrible, but I think of chaos in an energetic sense the same way that I think of like strategic failure. So I think sometimes, like when we are in a situation, like especially at work, where we have all these kind of expectations leveraged on us, but we don't have enough resources or people or time to do things, strategic failure is kind of our only option, right? It's like either I work myself to death to make this thing happen that I'm not properly resourced to make happen, or I just do my best knowing that parts of this are going to fail and that I will allow it to fail to make a point, because I have been expressing that I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, there's not enough resources, there's not enough time, like all of these things, right? And so I feel like chaos, like manifesting chaos, is the energetic equivalent of that, right? So there might be a situation that you have been in, or a situation that has not happened yet, is really what it looks like to me, where you, like you essentially manifested, like, universe, I'm asking you for my highest good to pick up the snow globe that is my life, shake it, and put it back down, and let's see what happens from there. Like, I just need a fresh start, like an energetic fresh start. I need a little shake up. It's kind of the same. It feels the same as, I don't know who these people are, but it feels the same as people that just like pick up and move somewhere else in the country, or people that are like, I'm just going to sell all my things and live in a van, I don't know anybody that's done that, but I'm a little bit older. So I feel like that's definitely something that like you have to have a lot of young energy for that. You also probably need to not need indoor plumbing, which is very much that's a deal breaker for me. Like, if there's no indoor plumbing, I'm probably not gonna go. Not sorry. So the focus of this reading is the Magician, and the reason why things are chaotic right now is because you've manifested this, like you've called this in. And again, not blaming. So the thing that you are not aware of around this is that is that it's going to bring in this like divine partnership. So if you are someone that is not interested in romantic love at this time, this could be like a bestie. This could be like a business partner. This could be just like a really supportive person, like where you work at. This could be like a friend, neighbor, like new acquaintance, like someone that that gets you, right? Because these two are eye to eye. If you are interested in romantic partnership, then this is very much coming in and you're not aware that it's coming. So when you did your shakeup, I feel like the reason that you wanted to shake things up were for the purposes of something very tangible, because of this Knight of Coins. So it could very well be like work, that you're like, I need to shake things up because I want to make a career shift and I don't know how. I want to get a new job. I don't know how. I want to start a workout routine. I want to do something tangible with my health. Like, I feel like this Knight of Coins is kind of related to all those things. Like, coins are time, energy, money, and as physical vessels, like our energy comes from within us. So that's why I was talking about kind of fitness or like health or, any kind of like bodily health things. And you were hoping that you could manifest this kind of to come in really quickly, that maybe you've been like doing the work for a long time and it's just like not happening. And so I think even I'm looking at like this little magician dude, and he's like his little face, like he is focused. He's like, gonna make this thing. Like, so he's almost like kind of pulling this out as like this, I feel like this is like this really divine blessing, right? And so it's like, that's what you're trying to manifest. You're trying to pull out, a lot more than this, right? Because it's almost like this is where you've been, where it's like, okay, I have one little coin that I worked really hard for. Like, why is this all I get for all the work that I'm doing? Like, what is happening? And so, with this coin, it's got the star on it, but I feel like when you were manifesting, you're like, I want the big coins. Give me the big coins. Like, I want a lot of money. Like, I want the money I'm earning to match the energy that I'm putting out, and it's not. And so how do I make this happen? And so you kind of manifested some chaos. The resolution is, it is not chaotic. It's a new beginning. It's this Ace of Wands. And so the universe is bringing you the things that you asked for, around like career, money, energy, but also is bringing you some love. And I feel like this person, this kind of divine romantic partnership, is very much going to help you with these efforts, right? Because even when we look at this, like, yes, this is Ace of Wands, but like it looks like one of the pentacles, looks like one of the coins. I got this little, it's not hard to see. So this coin with a star in the middle, and this is like a big coin with a star in the middle, right? So we look at these, they are about the same size, right? So the universe is like, yeah, I am happy to give you all of the opportunities to go get what you want. And so you created this chaos. And so the resolution is for you to take the opportunities that are coming to you. And so in case you struggle to receive, it might be because you're used to only getting this really small amount. And so you want the big amount. And so these big things are coming for you, but you have to receive them, right? So that might be why this is in the resolution, because like we can have opportunities given to us, we can have things offered to us, but if we don't receive them, if we don't take them, then we can't have them. And it's like, if you're not willing to receive it, then why'd you create the chaos to bring the opportunity in? So whenever you're doubtful about whether you deserve the great things that are coming in, just remember that you created this. So just take it. Just why do I have to think about it? Just like, oh, good things, let me take it. And I'm preaching to the choir because I'm the same way. I'm like, is that for me? I know it has my name on it, but is it okay if I take that thing that's addressed to me that's been brought to my house specifically for me? Okay, I guess I could take it. So the understanding is the Queen of Cups. And so Queen of Cups, like she's receiving this ship, right? That she that it's kind of swum up to her, and she's picking it up and she's looking at it. And so you created all this chaos, and really you created and manifested this chaos, not the ego, earthly, 3D part of you created all this chaos to bring in this big coin that you wanted, time, energy, money. But your soul was on board for this chaos to create a shift, because the bigger lesson is that you're learning to receive things. And so that learning to receive, that ability to receive, is very much tied to knowing our worth. And I feel like that's why this divine partnership has come in, this Two of Cups, because like this person, this partner that you're drawing in, they're very, very much like you, that they might have the same struggles that you have. Like they might not be good at receiving. They might not be able to see their value in the way that that you can see about them, right? And so that's kind of they're like reflecting these things back to you, where it's like, that you guys are very similar, and you're always kind of like doting on them, and you just adore them. And so it's almost like there's a movie, it's called Playing by Heart. It's like from, I want to say like 1997, 98. It's super old, like romantic comedy. Amazing cast, like Gillian Anderson from the X-Files, Angelina Jolie, Ryan Phillippe, Sean Connery, like just all these people. And so this couple is talking about falling in love. And so like the way that she explains it is that like when you fall in love with someone, you're able to see, like they reflect back to you what is so lovable about you. And so it's like in falling in love with them, you fall deeper in love with yourself. And I feel like this is very much this Two of Cups energy, that this person is going to come in, and like in falling in love with them, you're going to be able to see so much more like what your value is. And really, and I feel like you've had fleeting moments where you've seen like what your value is, but for the most part, I feel like you kind of chalk that up to like, oh, well, like, yeah, but I worked really hard on that, or like, oh, I was having a really good day, or like, oh, they're just nice. They always say nice things to people. But I feel like with this partnership, it's going to be like, oh, like that. Wow, that is me, and I am valuable. And so once you really know what your value is, like receiving things will be so much easier, because you're like, yes, you're a manifester, but also like your soul has its own plan for things. Not to say that we don't have free will, but it's like your soul has plans to bring you so much more than what you're asking for. And so you can't receive it until you really learn to receive. So that was your reading, which is really, good job calling in that chaos. And I'm excited for you with this Two of Cups and like this big coin and like learning to receive, because I think once we're able to open our hand to receive things without kind of making excuses for why we don't deserve them, like the more, like when we get to that place where we can just receive, like there's so many good things that like want to come to us. And the Sunstone message, I just want to mention it again. It's take pleasure in the things that you do. Right? So it's like as you're living your life, and like these kind of big coin moments come along, that that you're able to take pleasure in taking those opportunities. Okay. So that was the tarot portion of your reading. So next I have the oracle cards. So the first one is demystifying the darkness. And the message on the back is, my shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. And so I think sometimes like that shadow part of us can very much be like the I'm not good enough part, right? That like, I think we all kind of have that in one way or another, where it's like, oh, am I good enough? Like, did I really earn this? Do I deserve it? And it's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. It came to you because it's yours. Like there's it's got your name on it, so you can't deserve it any more than anything, because it's for you. It has your name on it. So it's like, if this is you, it's like, okay, if this is you deserve this. The next card is the Soul's Journey card. And so the message is failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I feel like these two very much match, like the colors and the imagery, and that like there might have been moments where you're like, why did I create this chaos? Like, why did I manifest this? Like, what am I doing? I can't do this. And it's like, even if you fail, let's say you fail to take one of these opportunities, like that's okay. Like it's completely fine. Like that, that missing that opportunity, making that mistake of missing that opportunity is an opportunity to learn, and so it's like, just that's part of the lesson of learning how to receive, that sometimes like we don't do good at it, right? That maybe we fail to receive it. And you're like, gosh, I really wish that I had taken that, or I wish I had received it, and I feel like those things teach us, right? So that the next time something comes up, then it's like, well, I'm not missing out on that. Next is the Work Your Light Oracle card. And the message is, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. I feel like Queen of Cups, she's very good at resting. I just love when the cards, like the color scheme matches. And even with this Two of Cups, like with these two, that they're just enjoying each other. There's no strain, there's no work, there's no forcing. It's just kind of sitting together and enjoying each other. Next is the Animal Kin Oracle. And this is the Jabiru, and the message is foundation. So maybe one of these new opportunities is setting a new foundation for some part of your life, right? Maybe the way that you do things. This could be a foundational relationship. And last is the Thera-pets card, and it says, you can do the thing. Super sweet. And I like that it's very vague. because, you know, we don't know what opportunity is going to come up, but whatever opportunity comes up, you can do the thing. You got this. You got this. So, group number 3, that was your reading. So, I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm very excited for you, for all these opportunities that are coming up for you in this chaos that you created. Good job. And if you enjoyed the reading, if you would like to hit that like button and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. So I will see you next time. Bye. Hi, group number 4. So if you chose the Chrysoprase, let me move my finger. This is your reading. So I pulled tarot cards for you from the Crystal Unicorn Crystal Unicorn Tarot, as well as oracle cards from these decks. So let's get into your reading. If this is your first time watching, I want to say welcome and thank you. And if you have watched one of my videos before and you're back, hello again and thank you for returning. So let's see. All right, so the focus of your reading is going to be this 5 of Cups. And so, you know, in this card, the unicorn is focused on what's spilled, but there's these 2 cups back here that that the unicorn's not really looking at. And so sometimes when we lose something, it can be really hard. You might be dealing with some grief around something. And I think like when we're hurt and we're grieving, it makes it really hard to see or consider like those positive things around us that are still there. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like the chaos of the loss has been really, it's been overwhelming, right? Like you've been overcome by the loss of whatever these 3 things are, and that it's been really hard to, I'm hearing like make any traction, like to move forward, to move on. It feels like the grief of losing this has like caused you to kind of freeze. And I feel like that's really hard, right? That can be really chaotic, like when we feel frozen, because there's all these things in life that like don't stop, right? That like they just keep going and we have to show up and we have to do things. And like it can be really hard when we're stuck in that like kind of like freeze response. Like it's almost like you're in shock. So like whatever happened, like this was really unexpected. These cups getting knocked over are really unexpected. And it might be that like you lost a job. It might be that you lost a significant relationship. It might be that you lost a person. So I'm really sorry that you've been dealing with that, because it's really, really hard. The thing that you are not aware of is this Queen of Swords in reverse. And so like the Queen of Swords upright, like she's very grounded. I feel like a lot of people describe like the Queen of Swords as kind of like the badass of tarot, that like she just does, like she's got laser focus, like she takes care of things, like she does what she needs to do. And I almost feel like this is who you were before the loss. And so like this has really shaken you really to like your core, like it's really shaken like you to like a foundational level. And it feels like almost like the mental, not chatter, but like the internal dialogue is like, this is so bad, like this is so bad, like this just, it's like kind of like on repeat, that it like this is really like, this is worst case situation. Like the loss of these 3 cups is really like the worst case situation. And I don't know if you saw it coming or not. Like I feel like there's some self-talk around like I should have seen this, which I feel like is kind of unfair, because I don't think that like Queen of Swords, like she doesn't miss things like this. So to me, it feels like it was very unexpected, but it's like rocked your foundation. Like it's really shaken you, maybe made you doubt yourself. And so the thing that is coming into your awareness. I feel like it's not here yet, but the reason, like one of the reasons that all this like chaos has happened around this loss is because this balance in your life had to be reestablished. And so like temperance is this energy of like, I always think of it like tempering chocolate, where like you like you want to melt chocolate, but you use like chocolate and milk together to kind of make a sauce. And so it's like you pour a little bit of the milk into the chocolate, but not so much that it like kind of burns it, so it's like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit, it's like a back and forth, right? And so I feel like that's the temperance energy of like kind of pouring into this cup and then creating this like balance through action, like balance through motion. So it's almost like, it almost feels like if you've ever done like any kind of like physical therapy for like balance, or you've ever done like, or maybe even like walked on a curb, right? Kind of like walking on a balance beam, where it's like there's this point where you're stepping and your balance is a little shaky, and then you have both feet on the ground, and then the next foot like steps up to move forward. So it's like a little bit of imbalance and then stability, and a little bit of imbalance and then stability. Like that's what this feels like, is that like you're having to recreate this sense of balance in your life, but it comes from like this forward motion, this forward progress, that like you're moving forward, in this kind of not disheveled, but like you're moving forward in this, it's not wounded, like you're just not grounded in who you are. Like you're kind of taking your shaky steps forward, but as your feet land solidly on the ground, it's almost like that rebuilds a little bit of your confidence, and then you take another shaky step forward, and then your feet land solidly on the ground, and then you feel more balanced again. So it's like this, it's like with each step that you take, like you become more and more secure and more balanced in like who you are. Like each step you take is putting you one step closer to getting back to who you were before all of this happened. And so the resolution for why this stuff had to fall away, like why you had to have this chaotic loss, is the Three of Cups. And so Three of Cups is a card of like celebration, of friendship, of like really positive times. And so it feels like these three cups had to be spilled because whatever was in them needed to be replaced, right? So if you, what it's feeling like to me is like maybe like you went through a divorce. And in going through your divorce, it kind of forced you to get out of your comfort zone, to kind of like meet people, and you're going through the motions, and like you're becoming, a little bit more secure in yourself, and like you're getting back to the confidence that you used to have. And then you have these three amazing friends come in, and you have this like really great, fulfilling friendship, or this could even be that like, you lost something. Let's say you lost a job and you're going through the motions of trying to get back into the workforce, and you land your dream job, right? So this is very much like a celebratory energy that like, we've got these three spilled here, and then these three in the resolution, that like these had to get dumped out so that these could come in, which I feel like is really like just super beautiful. And then the understanding for why all of that happened is the Two of Cups. And so this is a card of like divine partnership, right? Like finding that equal. And this can be like, if you're interested in romantic relationships, like this is really positive. Like this is very like loving, nurturing, positive partnership, very balanced, very fair. Like when you look at these two, they're kind of mirror images of each other. So I feel like this is very much like finding your person, like that person that just gets you. This can also be friend and energy. This can also be like, it feels almost like parent-child in a way, you know, because it's this very close kind of tender, like nurturing. So if maybe you had to leave a situation, it was for the best, you know, for the two of you to get out of there. If you if you maybe like lost a job, this, you know, like this dream job that came up might have been for the purpose of you to meet someone, you know, to develop like kind of that mentor relationship with, or just have like a really positive connection with, because it feels like maybe these two, like this celebration and this like really positive connective energy, like this isn't normal for you, but like this isn't something that you've had the opportunity to have in your life a lot. And so I feel like it's really beautiful that these things are coming in. These are really like positive, nurturing relationships. So that was the tarot portion of your card reading. So I'll move on to the oracle cards now. So the first one is growing beyond guilt. And the message is, it couldn't have happened any other way. Which I feel like is just really perfect for this 5 of Cups. Next is freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Very much this 3 of Cups. Next is the Work Your Light Oracle, and the card is play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So lots of messages to enjoy yourself. And I feel like with these two also, you know, that like we have bad things happen and we can grieve, you know, and we can be upset about these bad things, but like we don't have to stay in that energy of like sadness or like shock or kind of being frozen. Like we don't have to stay in that all the time. That it's okay for us to like play and have fun. It doesn't mean that like whatever happened doesn't mean anything to us, you know, and that like we don't have to feel guilty for having a good time. That we, you know, we deserve to celebrate and like to connect, you know. Next is the Animal Kin Oracle. Oh, and it's the Sloth card, and it says wisdom. This little guy. You know, and we experience loss to learn, to have experiences, you know, to kind of gain wisdom. The last card is the Thera-pets card, and the message is no beating yourself up anymore. It doesn't help and you don't deserve it. This really goes along with that growing beyond guilt. Yeah. So group number 4, that was your reading. Let me go back to these beautiful cups cards, and also this Chrysoprase message, which is allow yourself to receive. So there's these really lovely things that are available for you if you will allow yourself to receive them. So group number 4, I hope that you enjoyed your reading, and yeah, I hope that that's helpful if you're still kind of in that kind of chaotic space of the grief, that, you know, that, you know, you can process what you need to process, but you don't have to like live in that energy, because there's lots of good things that are coming for you. So group number 4, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, if you would hit that like and subscribe button, and I would really appreciate it. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.